What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Tim here, and we have a lovely panel here today. We have your boy, Chris Tex, and
Yo,
we got Pop Culture Fate in the house. What's going on, you guys?
not much, bro. Same old.
Yeah, man. Just playing the
Yeah.
waiting game, you know.
So I know Chris is playing. He was playing PUBG earlier. You guys picking up that Spider-Man game?
Nah, that's not my kind of thing.
What, Chris?
PvP, bro.
You're one of those young kids that like never played by himself in video games. They didn't have
Nah.
PvP back in the day. They just had like Nintendo 64. So if your friends didn't come over, you know what I mean? You're playing by yourself.
Yeah, I want to get it, but I'm not rushing to get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially when they said basically it was like Batman. And why do that when you just play Batman?
Yeah, but Spider-Man.
Well, with the Batman engine, come on, it's just like a different skin, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they got better villains in Spider-Man games than in Batman games.
That's
Uh,
arguable.
well,
I don't know. They seem like they're a little bit more overpowered than the Batman villains, right?
Spider-Man's villains?
it should
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Spider-Man is strong.
Yeah,
So who
that's
would win
true.
in a fight then? Batman or Spider-Man?
Mm, Batman always wins somehow.
That's funny.
Nah,
I'm just
Yeah,
starting shit.
That's just like Tom Brady, bro.
what's
Uh,
that?
not in last year's Super Bowl, but when they played the Falcons, when they was getting whooped like 35-10 or something like that, and he
Mm-hmm.
came all the way back, that's Batman right there.
Yeah.
He'll find a way. He has like no business coming back. He'll find a way.
Yeah, I like Batman. No, I can't wait to play that game. I want to play it, but it's a single player game, so it's gonna go down in price. So just wait,
Yeah,
get it
But you
on
know what,
eBay.
bro? Shout out to Spider Man. You know, I do love him. He's my only Marvel piece. When you think about it, that is a good question for the sake of his intelligence. Now, if it was just Spider Man, just a dude that has spider abilities,
Yeah,
it's one thing. But when you put intelligence on top of that, that makes you dangerous, bro. So, so Spider Man probably should be the Batman of the MCU
yeah.
because he's so smart.
I feel like every superhero is like super smart nowadays, though.
It's super what?
Super smart. Like there's so
Nah,
many.
not like Spider Man, no man. Spider Man's crazy smart, bro.
But there's like Bruce Banner. There's Iron Man. There's you
He's
know what I
smart.
mean. Like the list just keeps going.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know, but he's young though, I guess, right? And so he's got a long ways to go. That would be cool if they made like an I don't know if they've ever done this yet, like an old man Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like kind of like Batman. I don't know, like a big fat old man swinging from fucking building to building. Sorry if I'm cursing. But like swinging from building to building, that would be hilarious. I don't know. Do you guys think that's funny or no?
That's very interesting though. Like he ain't gonna fit in those tights the same way when he get older.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, he has to
He'd
stay
probably,
young forever.
yeah, it'd probably be a different outfit. Um, so let's talk about statues, you guys. What has anyone picked up anything new, Chris? You sent some pictures of some stuff getting painted. Um,
yeah.
I was looking at this Spider-Man kit. You know, it's the custom one where he's in the Iron Spider-Man suit and he's like sitting on his claws or whatever.
Yeah.
They have one on eBay. As soon as I say something, someone's gonna go buy it right now. But they have it on eBay, and it's like $800. It's unpainted. But I'm like, I don't know anyone to go paint this thing.
Just
How
be
much?
careful. Just
Yeah.
make sure you're not getting a recast. Yeah.
Mm,
Make sure you read the description and all that bullshit. Um, I don't
should
know.
it
It
be?
varies on painter. It depends on where you go, who you get it painted by, the
Yeah.
intricacy of it. It has a
How
lot of
much is that going?
details.
How much is going to set me back if I have to go ship it, get it painted, and pay for them to ship it back?
Well, for that piece, being that it's pretty much like two colors, and then like the
Yeah.
simple base, maybe like 500, 550, and then
Damn.
shipping. I don't know, like $75 each way if he's in the States.
Yeah. Damn. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's why I
I
don't buy
see.
too many pieces.
Yeah, no. You just get like awesome paint jobs and you just have a few of them that have like nasty looking paint jobs.
Yeah, that's my route. It's
I can
about
dig
time.
it.
What about you guys? Anything new?
I'll let Fate go if he's got something new. But he's shaking his head. Watch me break this live.
Oh shit!
Okay. This guy right here.
You just got that in?
I went and picked him up like Friday,
Nice.
so almost a week ago. So shout out to Jay Remy. He found the deal for me, and I picked it up locally. So I had to get this one. I like horror movie. I like horror and sci-fi more than I like superhero stuff.
Mhm.
So like, and I already have the PF of this version
Mhm.
of the Patient One. So this one, I don't know. I was on the fence. Then I was like, nah, I got to get it.
Are you gonna put
So
your Walking Dead dials around that?
nah, they're separate. I don't have enough room, dude.
Okay. That's a Is it heavy
He
though?
It's about 20. It's not 20. It's like 15 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of heavy, but
Shit.
um it's pretty crazy. The paint apps on this are pretty nasty.
It looks good.
Yeah, yeah. There's so many different like colors in his body. So like when you have different light hit it,
Yeah.
it looks pretty gory looking when you look at his skin. But it's pretty sick and it's pretty big too. It's like a giant, like it's like a real zombie. So I kind of was like, what am I doing? I'm buying a fucking zombie head. Sorry for the cursing, guys. But I bought a zombie head. Like, what? I'm just buying a zombie. But I always said though, if there's one statue or whatever, a full size statue, I would get a zombie. You know what I mean? That'd be the cool thing to get. But this is the only bust I'm picking up too. I'm not getting any other bust except for this one.
Nice. That's the only life size bus you have.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah, I'm
don't know.
surprised you don't got the Batman one.
It's not that cool though. Like, you have a big, I don't know, maybe to me it's not that cool to have a Batman bust or like a Spider-Man bust.
Mm.
Whereas if you have like a zombie, it's like, I don't know. It's like a dead giant live human person. I don't know. I think it's cool looking.
I hear you.
Do you guys, Fate, you don't have a bust, do you? Or do you guys have any? No, wait, you have a bust, Chris, right? You have
Yeah, I
a
have
few.
two.
You have two.
The He-Man and Skeletor from PCS.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I love those things.
Are they boxed up right now or are they out and
Yeah.
about?
Nah, they're too big right now. I don't have the space in my room to display those things.
I
Even when
think
my case arrives.
once I get all the statues that I want,
Yeah.
then I will probably get like maybe three busts, like maybe the Trinity, or probably just that.
Which company, or do you have any in mind?
Nah, if I had eight, well, I have nothing but time because I need time for the statues to even come out.
Yeah.
For me to even think about the bust. So by that time that rolls around, hopefully something would have come out by now, like maybe a new Batman bust. But if not, it's okay. I'll just see if I can get the old Batman one and the Superman. And the Wonder Woman didn't look so great, I don't believe. So hopefully, when it's my turn, they'll have their act together.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Yeah, this is one that I had to pick up. Like it was like when I say local, it was like a half-hour drive.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm
Did you
like,
pick it up from anybody in the community?
I don't think he's active in the community.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I guess he is in he's in one of the BST. Uh, he put it up there on Facebook. So,
Okay.
but yeah, he was a legit transaction. So
It's always nice to go pick up a piece, man.
yeah, it's so much better than ordering something off of eBay or something.
Yeah, and you get to kind of just shoot the shit with a like-minded individual, like in person. You know what I mean? You don't have to be on a screen talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Yeah, I'm happy. What else you guys got going on?
Wait, yeah, before that, Cass, man, can you show your bust again with the lights on it?
Yeah,
You
hold
ask
on.
up close. I
Let me
need
turn this. Hold on. All right. Is that good on your end, or do I need to like move it around or something?
Yeah, it looks good. Yo, for some reason you're coming in fuzzy right now, bro. You're always mad sharp.
to.
I'm fuzzy right now.
Yeah.
So let me
Yeah,
turn off my TV. Maybe it's Netflix or something.
yeah, because Chris is coming in sharp.
Yeah, Tim is always the sharpest one out of everybody.
What about now? Is it getting better?
Still fuzzy. Maybe try turning it on and turning it off.
Mm, give me a second. Let me see.
Still fuzzy, bro.
Is that better?
Nah.
It's probably my connection.
Jeez.
That sucks. Um,
Statue Collector says you need 4K for this bird.
it's 1080p. I don't know what the heck's going on with it. Um, I don't know. Is that buzzy or is that buzzy? Is that fuzzy?
Yeah, just forget about
Yeah.
it. It's
All
gonna
right.
it's gonna be.
All right. What were you gonna say, Fate?
No, you were gonna say something, but I had to stop you because of the request.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so I'm not sorry. I didn't read the comments. So I think I want to pick off a little bit too. What we since we got three smart people on the panel right now. I wanted to ask everyone, and then I want to hear from the community as well. Are Grails overhyped? Is there something special about these really expensive statues that are considered Grails by the community? And how many people have to love a statue to become a Grail? You know what I mean? So these are questions I think we should. I don't know. Are these are things we should talk a topic we could talk about? And because I hear the word Grail thrown around all the time, but I'm wondering if there's a certain definition that we should establish. I think between all of us, what a Grail is.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't say that they're overhyped. I do think that some pieces, like I don't know, don't get butthurt for me saying this, but Doom on Throne, like I see that thing selling for like 3, 4 G's all the time, and I saw it at Comic Con, and I was like, what the fuck? You serious? Like this? But then there's pieces like I know Omar used to go on about the OG Hulk all the time, but and I myself, every time you spoke about it, I was like, all right, dude, it's not that serious. But then I got in hand and I was like, oh shit. Like when you get a piece that's like 50 fucking pounds, perfect paint job, and I don't know, it's a lot of things that go into that. I think you have to have a low ES, um, and it needs to be sought after. It can't be just you can't have like my He-Man bus from PCS. I wouldn't. People always say, "Oh, I have a personal Grail," but I don't really wouldn't consider that a Grail, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Personally, yeah, no doubt. I mean, any piece you have could be a Grail, but like the community's definition of Grail, I don't think that. I think it has to be, I guess, popular or very sought after.
yeah.
Mhm.
What up, George?
What's up, guys? How you
Yo,
doing?
Now, now I'm gonna go ahead and play devil's advocate. I do agree with you, but here's where I come in because I guess I'm more on the personal level than the community level. And this will probably be the only time you ever hear me say that because I am about my community. But like you said, Doom on Throne, it could be executed to perfection. You know what I'm saying? It's like paint apps, all that is just great, you know. But for me, and probably for a lot of others too, they can care two craps about Doom
yeah, man.
or Doom on Throne. So why would you go out your way to spend that kind of money on somebody that you don't even care about at all. Let's just say if it was a Teletubby on throne. Okay, yes, flawless paint job. Are you gonna go out and buy it
Nah.
just because everybody else likes it? It's popular.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I can't do that, man. So I would stick to my guns. Like when you say, um, oh, really? I don't see it like about the Doom on Throne. I think every grill should be
What about
a,
Thanos?
a personal thing. No, it doesn't matter. If 900 people like it and one person doesn't like it,
Yeah.
that one person should not be obligated just to get it, to get it
Right,
because it's
right.
deemed the grail. It's deemed the grail to everyone else, but not to him. What if he doesn't like Thanos or whoever?
Now you're
You see
speaking
what I'm saying?
facts. I think, like, I don't know, like you said, everybody has a personal grill, but like the general consensus of the community, like that term usually refers to maybe like an older piece, just a really sought after piece, or something with a really low edition size with a good sculpt or a good paint job or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So take all right. So we have a personal Grail, and then we've got like someone's got their PlayStation on.
Oh, my bad, bro.
That's all right. It's just I could hear it. Um, and then we got your personal Grail, and then we got the community Grail, like what everyone thinks is like the top statue, I guess. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like a Lobo DC thing, right? That would be kind of like a Grail, right?
Yeah, I would say that. I'd say Lobo and the
Lobo.
Joker PF the DC Grails of Sideshow.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So is it okay? So it has to be sought after. It has to be so it has to have a lot of popularity. What about the ES number? Like, what about this Thanos on Throne? What?
You see why I wouldn't call Thanos a Grail? Because Sideshow completely dropped the ball when everybody started getting damaged pieces and
Mm,
like shitty paint jobs. I don't think that could be a Grail. It's a nice piece, great sculpt, but like the production part of everything, how it finished, I don't think it was on the Grail status. You know what I mean? It wasn't up to par with other things, if that makes
But
sense.
shouldn't a grail have like a time frame when it becomes a grail? Like, I hate that people call something a grail and the thing's only been out a year, you
That's
know?
true too. That's true. Yeah.
So,
what if it's sold out though? Like Thanos on Throne, though. You know what I mean? Like it's sold out right away from Sideshow.
but that doesn't mean to me that it's a grail. That just means that it's popular, and it could become a grail eventually. But I feel like a grail needs to have, a level of popularity, a scarcity in the statue, meaning that a lot of them didn't survive the time frame that this happened, and now there's only like a few available, and
Right.
then I could see, okay, there's only like a handful of these things in the world, and I don't mean that little bit, but then I can understand paying a considerable amount more. But sometimes I look at these things and I'm like, man, these things only been out 3 years or a year, and you want double the money, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no. So
Yeah. Well, so what about the quality of these so-called grails? Like you said, they're older statues, they're lower ES, they're like the first of their kind. Um, Obviously the newer stuff I think is going to be better regardless because they just keep sometimes there's the quality control issue, but I think they do keep improving on scope details and paint apps and different ways to do things. What about the quality? Does that matter at all? Do
Yeah.
you guys think that?
Yeah. I don't think you could reach that Grail status in the community if the quality is not there. If you have something with sloppy ass lines and you know what I mean,
Yeah.
this shit weighs 5 pounds. I don't think many people are gonna be saying, "Oh my god, this is a Grail." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I saw the Doom, and the Doom. I've seen some Grail, some statues that are called Grails, and they don't seem. I don't know. Maybe there's more than just the quality as well, though. But
I think
Doom on
so.
Throne doesn't really, wow me. The chair looks nice, but Doom himself looks pretty bland in one color. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, to answer your question about the overhyped part, because we're trying to define grill
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
in the overhyped, well, there you go. You just answered it for yourself. It is because now we're having higher expectations on what it actually should be. Because we all own statues and we've seen, different variations of paint jobs, quality, everything from good to bad. So we expect to see, I guess, a freaking ATM hidden inside the freaking statue. You know what I'm saying? Like some unbelievable uh, goals or expectations from this. I'll just say Doom on Throne. Like if, like once you've seen it, you're like, oh, that's it. That's what all the hype was about.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, it's still just a statue.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
Now going back to what Jorge was saying, as far as and Chris, pretty much everybody about the low ES. What do we consider as a low ES? Because when I think Holy Grail, I'm thinking or Grail, I'm thinking Indiana Jones. I'm thinking one of a kind. You know what I'm saying? You can't
Yeah.
have 100 Grails of the same thing. No, it has to be like, to me, I would say 3 just to give other people a chance.
Yeah,
Or
that's a good
they
point
want.
too. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. This whole thing started with what Bowen, then Sideshow, and they're all like companies that mass produce these things. I mean, for some of these pieces to become grails, I don't know. You look at how many collectors there are today. I'd say for like a company like Sideshow, maybe a grail, a new one, given some years going by, maybe like 1,000, no more than 1,000. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would
And
definitely
for
say
like a
under
custom
1,000.
piece, like the standard is held even higher because that's why most people or a lot of people go for custom pieces, not only for the artwork and art direction, for the stuff that the licensed companies aren't able to do, but for the low edition sizes as well. Usually, custom pieces or fan art pieces are kept under like 75 or 100. So
Interesting.
Okay,
Interesting.
I have a question for you guys. So if they had 500 Mona Lisas, would that be a Grail?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you with the whole thing. The whole what the Grail word, like we said, is Indiana Jones. Is
Right, one.
it something? There was one, and it went missing, and people had to really like hunt for this thing to go get it. So that's what made it the Grail. You know,
Yes.
so I get the reason why some people are calling some of these statues Grails, but to me, I'm like, this statue needs to have been out for a considerable amount of time, and there needs to be a very, very limited amount of them left in order for me to say, yeah, this is a Grail piece. You know, just because not a lot of people are willing to sell them doesn't mean that it's a Grail to me. I mean, even like when you talk about that XM Studios Magneto, I always get on that one. Everybody, what do they want? The $3,500 for that statue is what I've seen on eBay, and I'm like, you're out of your mind, man. I'm not going to pay that money for that.
yeah, I never got that when he did the head sculpts on that, like the factory head sculpts. I don't know how people be letting that thing slide, man.
So would you guys argue that the edition size is more important to being a Grail than the quality?
I think that should be the number one.
What edition size?
Yeah.
Yeah, the edition size.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Actually,
man. I'd argue the other way around because if you have a one of piece of shit, you can still gonna
you know
call it a
what?
Grail.
You know what?
I don't
There's
know, but
no shit like it though. That's the thing.
the Grail is what the cup of Jesus, right? That's the Grail. Or no, that was what is the Grail? What do they call the Grail? Is the cup of Jesus, right? Am I wrong?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. You are right. You are right.
If you look at that, it's made by a carpenter. It wasn't the prettiest cup of the
That's
ones
true.
that Indiana
You're
Jones
right.
had to choose from.
You right.
You know, but there was only one of that, and it was made by Jesus. So it was like,
Or he just shut that shit down.
So yeah, and the story behind it, I guess does it have to have a story behind it? Because the Holy Grail, the story behind the Holy Grail is that it was the cup of Jesus's Last Supper. So does that matter too? Then I guess so for instance, Doom on Throne is the first Marvel piece that they made, right? Sideshow made. Does that make it a Grail? Kind of like these these guys. These are like some of the first statues that Sideshow made, right? Does that make it, I guess, more of a Grail status?
I think it could be like that. That was a good example, like Doom being the first Marvel premium format, and like the OG Hulk being the first Hulk. You know what I mean? In quarter scale, so that might have something to do with it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm thinking that we should just scrap the word Grail. This is my opinion. Seriously. I mean, I think come on, statue community, wake up. There's no Grails. Okay, there's timeless pieces. Like
Yeah.
there's pieces that withstand its test of time. Like if you see new statues come in, you be like, damn, but this old one I got still can compete with the new ones. So therefore, you have a timeless piece. Okay, or you can have a masterpiece, and really not a masterpiece, but the closest you can get to a masterpiece. There is no Grail. Now, if Sideshow or whatever company said, hey guys, we are going to make a diamond Batman, and it's only going to be one, and we're going to raffle it. And if Jorge wins it, he has the Grail because there's only one of a kind, period. And of course, they're going to have it high quality because if it was a piece of shit, then nobody would put their names in for the raffle, right?
Yeah.
True.
Okay. So if you don't want it, you'd be like, I don't, yeah, why would I want that? But if everybody and their mama wants it, trust me, when Thanos came out, if they said we were only making one Thanos, first one, pre-orders, you're the one that gets it, you got the Grail. Because we know multiple people want Thanos, but only one person can have it.
Yeah.
Right? So
That would have been dope.
I am defending your piece of shit too. If nobody wants that piece of shit, then okay. But if everybody wants that piece of shit, now we okay. Now there's a bidding war.
True.
All right. So
That's a
I'm
good
gonna
topic.
try to stay with-
So then,
I'm
what
gonna
do
try to stay
what do we
with
call our favorite statues then? Just my favorite statue.
Yeah.
Mm.
'Cause that's whatever. Well, basically, that's what everyone uses that word for, right? That's going to be my Grail piece. You know what I mean?
That's a
That's
personal
because we're
Grail.
conditioned. We're
Yeah.
conditioned to say that word.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's
a bad
true.
condition. I like the timeless piece for myself. Like when I look
Personal
at
quest.
when I look at the Joker and I look at anything else that follows the Joker, to me, that's a timeless piece because still the sculpt and everything about him looks great.
Right.
And does public opinion matter? Yes and no. It's whatever.
I don't think public opinion really matters, to be honest. I mean, when it comes to you, you should just, be getting the stuff that you like. Like you said earlier, you shouldn't listen to what everybody's hyping up or whatever.
No, right. But this is a community, and we do have to come together to define our words, just like we do in the real community of Florida or of New York or
Right.
whatever, or of America. There are terms and there's words that you have to say, and we have to come to agreements to say, okay, in these days, this word means this. And we make it law. Boom, there it is. Like back in the day, or in other countries, if you say dog, that's it could be offensive. If you say it somewhere else, you like it's an endearing term. You know what I'm saying? So now in this small statue community, we should be like, okay, let's reevaluate ourselves. What is Grail? What do you consider timeless? That's why I say if there's 50 Mona Lisas, then how is that a Grail?
Yeah.
It's not really. Anyway,
I would like to see more of that stuff, man. Like one of a kind pieces. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's expensive, but it would just be nice to see. I like seeing stuff like that. Like personally, the way I collect, I like. I don't know. Like I said, I've said it like multiple times on the show, but I started with like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. That's where my collecting days started, and I was always the kid at school with the crazy binder of holographic cards. You know what I mean? So it was always just the rare stuff, and that's why ES matters so much to me. And I don't know, it would just be cool to see those one of a kind pieces, and especially like hand sculpted traditional stuff. Like I miss that, yo. Like the Joker, PF, the OG Hulk. Those are all hand sculpted pieces, and it's almost like a lost art because 3D just speeds everything up so fast, and it's just the process of sculpting is quicker, producing is quicker. I don't know.
you know what? I would say Ultimate Grail would be one of a kind.
Yeah.
Grail by itself, I would say 5. Because it's still going to be sought after.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to get. 5 is still hard to get. It's just as hard as looking for that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like winning the lottery. You have a chance, but not really. You know?
What's up, guys?
What's up, dude?
So man,
Just having trouble getting my camera to work.
Oh, Red Hood. Nah, dude. Nah, that's funny though. That's funny, Grill, about the he said okay, now starting to move. Okay, the term Grail are just statues that are expensive AF. We all know what that means. That is how I see the word Grail. That's funny, but come on. Every statue nowadays are expensive AF, you know? So what are we talking about here?
Julio G says, if I want to see a one of a kind piece, I'll go to a museum. What's the point? Collecting to me is having a chance of owning a piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I
No,
feel
that
like
is what it is, though.
I
You are
can see
collecting
that. I
art.
can see that point too. But I mean, like for instance, the first appearance of Superman, the first appearance of Batman. These are Grail comics, I would say, or classic comics that are
yeah,
very expensive and have reached that height of value. And the only reason why they've reached that height is because they've stood an extreme amount of time, and a lot of them are damaged, destroyed. They've weathered throughout the years. So if you find one that's in a 3.0, 5.0, 6.0 condition, that's very, very expensive. So I could see, that. But when you tell me that a statue that just came out 5 years ago is worth 10 times the amount that it came out initially, I can't feel that. And I don't care.
yeah,
It's just somebody wanting to put a random value on it.
yeah. I've never heard like a couple pieces say like some things are like man-made grails because you have Sideshow putting that number, that ES, whereas your like example of the old time comics, there was no ES. You know, a certain amount was produced, nobody knows, and some of them made it till today, and some of them like they're just destroyed, lost. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
But to that Superman first edition, what Jorge was alluding to, that does see, and this is why we just throw words out there. That does have historic value
Yeah.
because you do want to preserve the story of our greatest hero or whoever's greatest hero. So I understand the meaning of that. There is some sentimental value and there's historic value, and it needs to be kept uh, in line for the next generations to come. So I agree with that. But there you go. I would say this comic book has historic value. Calling it a grail, it's still not a grail. I mean, if it's the last one on Earth, now it's a grail. And on
True.
top of that, you know what I'm saying?
One of those old books could be the last one on Earth if in that particular condition,
Could be.
because
Well,
there
we
might
can't.
be only one 9.0 Action Comics #1 in the world, or a certain grade. It makes it one of a kind at that grade, at least.
Okay, and that great. Okay, well now you're redefining.
Yeah, because that's what's
The
the thing about
condition.
statues too. In another 20 years, a lot of these statues, half of them are gonna get broken and touched up, repainted, and but I don't think it'll still hold the same kind of value as a book for whatever
But that's
reason.
what Ray was saying is that people are blowing up these prices too damn quick. It's like, how are you 5 years old and your price is multiplied by 10? That's silly. And people are going for it, you know. So
Yeah.
that's a rip off. That's not a grill. That's what it is. You're getting ripped off. You missed the boat.
Mhm.
Now
Yeah,
I can't blame the person willing to pay the amount, but that's another story. But we're talking about what is a grill
yeah.
and is it overhyped? I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead and finish your thought, bro.
Oh, that was pretty much it. I mean, just as far as grails, I mean, it just depends on how many people want it and how many there are, and how I don't know, because I've had things that were grails and then or considered grails, and then a few years later, nobody cared about it. So I don't know. It's just to me a grail. I guess is just what I consider a grail to myself. There's a few pieces that I'd rather not part with, but shit happened, I'd get rid of them regardless. I needed the money.
And that's why I say with these people that say, "Oh, wait for the ES, wait for the ES." And I always come with the answer of I don't care what the ES is because I'm only getting one. Which brings my conversation back to full circle. A Grail to me is still one. But now we just have the one that's being sought after by the community or the one that I personally want. I don't care if everybody has a Thanos, just as long as I got mine. That's the only one. Like I said, ones that you're not willing to part with ever. That's the one for you.
Yeah,
Or
I don't know, man. Like, as long as you have a Thanos and everybody has one, you're good, right?
hmm
You said that as everybody has a Thanos, but as long as you have one, that's it.
Well, that would be your personal favorite. See, I can't call it a Grail,
Yeah,
but like I said about the when they throw in addition sizes, unless it's one, the number one should be synonymous with Grail.
yeah,
Okay, anything after that, it's just a sought after statue. That everybody likes. To me,
yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, like a whole lot of great statues have come and gone, and I did, and so have you, and so has everyone else on this panel. We've passed on a lot of statues that have been executed to perfection, or to what we may think that's perfection,
And
but it was
oh,
us.
sorry.
It wasn't for us. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It was for the people that wanted it.
I'm not gonna lie, yo. There's a bunch of statues out there that I want, but
Mhm.
like the edition size just will completely turn me off. Like that Batman premium format behind you. I think that's the best Batman ever made.
Mhm.
6 scale, quarter scale, 1/3 scale. I think that's the best classic Batman you could buy. But
Mhm.
knowing that 7,500 other people have it, and that I could talk to, one or two out of three people in the groups, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got that piece too." Just my way of collecting. Like
Right.
it doesn't, for me, it doesn't feel as special. You know what I mean? Like if everybody else could have it, it's not. I don't know. That's just my perspective.
Right. Yeah. And
That's
I
human
feel
conditioning right there.
yeah, I fully understand that, because you want it to be solved. You wanna have that one. You don't
Yeah.
want to have one of 7,500.
Right. Right. Right.
Right. And I get that.
I get the same feeling with things, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I love the piece and I like the way
Exactly.
it looks. So what about custom paint apps then? Does that make it like of a one of a kind then, or
To an extent.
see?
Yeah.
Sometimes I think it might devalue the thing, especially in the future. If these things get really sought after, and maybe 20 years from now you're trying to find one that hasn't been altered or restored in any kind of way, it might make it worth a lot more, like how it is with comic books. A lot of people don't want to touch these restored comic books from 30, 40 years ago. They'll pay way more for one that hasn't been restored or tampered with. So who knows if that's going to have an effect on them in the future, or if they'll continue to climb in value, or just a lot of these things won't be worth anything in 20 years. It's hard to tell. People are still into this in 20 years, which I think they will be, because people have been into it, since the 30s.
You know what?
Yeah.
I have a suggestion, man. I think I have a word for it. Maybe, maybe not. You know what? This word probably won't fly. But I just thought I was relating it to cars and calling it classics. Like once we have time that's gone by and we still love that piece, like if they made a 67 Chevy today or whatever, or a Corvette, or old school Corvette, and they made the same exact way in 2018, it's not going to be the same. I mean, it's the same appearance wise, but it ain't the same as far as aging, like wine. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, like how collectors, they collect cars, and if it's in immaculate condition, original condition, they'll pay top dollar for it because it hasn't been altered. They want what it looked like off the factory lot back in that time period. And
right,
that might be the same thing with these. Maybe somebody's trying to maybe somebody becomes rich 50 years later. They had something they bought when they were a teenager now, and they're like, man, I want to find that same piece. I want it to look like it came just off the factory lot, not altered, and I'm willing to pay top dollar for it because I got all the money in the world. So you never know. There's those people that just have so much money, they don't give a fuck. They're like, here's $30,000. Here, take it, give it to me. That's what
I just want that memory back. You know, you just never know what you're going to get with collectors, and that's why things go up in these crazy amounts. I mean, the fact that somebody would pay $1 million for some torn up, beat up book from 1930 something, you know, was it 1938? I think first Action Comics, you know, maybe it's 39, but it's an old book.
Would you agree with a classic as opposed to Grail?
Yeah.
As far as, you know, the terminology, because it's still sought after. It doesn't really, it does diminish the value because there's only one for Grail, but it doesn't devalue the importance of wanting that piece because it is a prestigious piece. 67 Chevy or whatever, 67 Mustang. You know, it's still I see it more as a classic piece. Like the Joker to me is the classic Joker. You know, and it has to be definitive. It can't just be he's the first one, he's a piece of shit. No, it's like this is when they got it right. Because they made Mustangs before 67. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's the one specific that was like, okay, this is one that started popping right here.
And you know, some of those antique dolls, they go for thousands and thousands of dollars. You know, maybe Joker might be one of those. Yeah, they made quite a few thousand of them, but say a lot of the clothing withers away, a lot of them get broken over the years, and maybe, you know, it probably will take a lot of time, just like most collectibles, but a lot of these things might be worth a fortune, you know, 50 years from now. Not that we'll care, but, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel that it's a time thing, and I don't think 5 years is enough time.
No.
I think it needs to be longer than that for it to reach that. Now, I'm not saying these things shouldn't increase in value over a period of years, you know, but I don't think it's 5 times the amount of something. You know, that's where I'm like, man, you guys, I don't know what you guys are talking about with that.
I wouldn't do it. I feel stupid when I do that. I've done it on just a few occasions where I was just like, man, I have to have that. And, you know, I just felt like an idiot when I was doing it. I was happy that I got the piece, but I'm like, you know, maybe I should have just been patient and just I don't know. But then when I start running out of room and I get too many pieces, then I'm like, all right, well, maybe I just want to consolidate into more expensive pieces and, you know, sell a few other pieces so I can, you know, just consolidate the collection.
Yeah. Well, so with all that said then, and prices and stuff, how do you guys feel about these price? I don't want to call it price hikes because I don't want to sound so pessimistic. You know what I mean? But Doomsday, $1,000. You know what I mean? Everything's getting up to $700, $800 just for Sideshow alone. You know, you talk about XM, they've already been at 1,000 for a while, right? And Prime One's expensive. Like, when's the limit? You know, what's the limit for everybody for a statue? I guess for one statue, 1/4, like a 1/4 statue.
Well, I think XM Studios is only $1,000 just because it takes it's so expensive to get it here. So you're paying like import fees on top of whatever the statue is. So I think that's really the only reason why it goes up that high. But I think they're pretty much priced where Sideshow has been coming up to. But yeah, I think this stuff is getting pricey. It has been pricey for a long time now.
But they've always been really a little bit higher though than Sideshow.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, but I'm looking at the quarter scale statues from them, and they're like $700-800 for their average piece, unless they got those huge bases.
Sideshow's catching up now though.
Yeah.
With the $700 mark, I feel like that's the average.
Right and it's now. What these already. I don't know what factors into the cost of the statue, where they come up with that number. But yeah, it's gone up.
Does it make it scary to buy a piece from Sideshow? Kind of like Doomsday, I guess. Doomsday does it kind of scare you to pick that one up? You know what I mean? Especially not knowing the ES, I guess.
I'm scared to pick anything new over $1,000. Anytime I spend over $1,000 on a statue, I get a little bit, you know, clinchy. Like I don't know if this is a good idea or not. So.
Yeah, that's why I haven't ordered Doomsday. I'm kind of scared. I'm not scared, but I'm just like I don't want to waste my money. If it 6 months down the line it goes down to like 700, 800, you know what I mean? Just wasted a little bit of money. But if I really like the piece, then I won't sell it anyways, and it won't matter. But
want to go
we
back.
are spending our money, so it kind of matters. You know what I mean? Not you can't just like, oh, I love everything. I'm just gonna buy everything. The amount I think matters.
I want to touch back on the Grail discussion just for one more second.
Yeah.
I think more of the word was just a fun word somebody made up to, it's just something everybody's trying to chase at the moment, kind of like, Indiana Jones, the Holy Grail, I wonder, I'm curious to see who actually made up that term for the statues. Who the first one was to start using it and how it got popular.
The word Grail or in
statue? I mean, in the statue community, because everybody started using it. It caught on from somebody. I wonder who.
It's probably a collector. It's probably like a collector term. You know what I mean? This is the holy, this is the Holy Grail of forks. This is the Holy Grail of.
Oh yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, I'm thinking like it was probably Lou and Vic probably were the ones that coined the term. I mean, as far as who was on YouTube and who was popular, actually, saying it. Lou was one of the first people I remember saying it, a lot. And I just think it was a fun word made up, it's something that everybody's trying to chase. And people take it too literally, I think sometimes. It's not literally a grail, it's not the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Just something that people are seeking and willing to pay or, willing to give up a lot for, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
I want to go ahead and read something to you guys really quick. Okay, so it's kind of a joke, but let's see if we can catch on here. Let's see here. I'm going to read some symptoms to you guys. Maybe we could guess what this is. Signs and symptoms may include excessively acquiring items that are not needed or for which there's no space, persistent difficulty throwing out or parting with your things regardless of actual value, feeling a need to save these items,
Hoarder.
and being upset by the thought of discarding them, building up of clutter to the point where rooms become unusable, having a tendency towards indecisiveness and perfectionism, avoidance, and problems with planning and organizing. You kind of guessed it right. It's that's like symptoms of hoarding. It's a hoarding disorder. And I was reading about this and I thought it was pretty funny. Just reading some of this, reading some of the symptoms and stuff. It's like, some of these kind of go with statue collectors, but like, is there a line though between collecting and hoarding? Or is it the same thing, or is there a difference between collecting and hoarding?
Yeah, I think so. I think hoarders, they have a lot of things that have no value. They just grab everything that, well, I don't know, because value is a crazy word.
Value. Statues don't have value unless we put value on them. Gold has value. Diamonds have value. Money.
But even that's like
that's
too.
The same thing. That's the same thing. A diamond has value. People put value. But I'm saying but a hoarder might see value in, a bottle cap he has, or bottles, whatever, So I guess value is a relative term. It's just what that person thinks has value. And some people think that everything has value, so they just collect whatever the hell. I think collectors have a difference because, they keep it a little more isolated to a certain thing. They just don't grab everything and just. I mean, I don't know. It's close. I think it is. I consider myself a hoarder with certain things for sure. Like I'm a hoarder of art. I have so much art that I could stack my walls, over and over again with it, and most of it's just put away. So what am I doing with it? It's like I might die before I even get to display a lot of the art that I have.
Yeah, but I could see someone that doesn't collect statues look behind you, Michael, and be like, dude, that guy's a hoarder. Look at all those fucking statues. Sorry, I cursed. But look at all those statues. You know what I mean? Just piling up behind him. You know what I mean?
Looks like that on camera, but if you saw, they're the only ones that are really kind of hoarded is the ones that are on these boxes because I just procrastinate.
So you are hoarding, yeah.
But they are. Most of them are placed in a particular. It just if I put a video to it, you'd see that they're organized though. They're all.
People with hoarding disorder typically save items because they believe these items are unique or will be needed at some point in the future. See, that's different. Yeah, right there, we don't necessarily think that these are needed in the future, except for you want to keep them. Yeah, I see a big difference too, between the two, but it kind of, I don't know, there's like a line, right? And I think
Very thin line.
it's very blurry too. Yeah.
Thin, blurry line.
The items have important emotional significance, serving as a reminder of happier times or representing of beloved people or pets.
Yeah, sounds like us.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna deny that, man. I mean, but the thing is like I feel like I don't collect what I collect because I feel like this is gonna have some insane amount of value in the future, right? Like I don't think that that's the case. I think that there were things that I had in my past that got lost to time for whatever reason. You know, like I used to have a lot of Star Wars toys. I had a shitload of these things, and anytime that I would come home with a bad report card or fight in school or something like that, my dad would take these things and destroy them in front of me. You know, so I lost so many toys, Nintendos, all kinds of stuff. And now that I'm an adult and I can afford to buy some of this stuff back, you know, it's like I remember those things fondly. And now it's like, yeah, it's like I got, for instance, I had the Spider-Man 1 comic, Torment by Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
Not a very expensive comic right now. I had that back in the day. My dad ripped that in front of me, tore it to shreds in front of me, you know, because of a bad report card.
Oh, man.
So I went to Tate's Comics and I managed to get one for like half off on one day. And I look at him and he's with me. You know, I was like, "You remember this comic?" You know, and then he looks at me and he's like, "No, I don't remember that comic." Like, "You ripped this thing in front of me, you know, because of a bad report card." I said, "Well, you probably deserved it." And I was like, "Yeah, fuck you too."
And you remembered it, and he didn't.
He did it, but for me, it was like now I have it back, and I have it in my box. But yeah, so
I mean, there's only so many things you could spend money on. You know, there's people they hoard money. You know, people hoard all kinds of things. I mean, it's just, what do you consider a hoarder?
Yeah. And so the question too is, you know, in this article it says at the bottom it says when to see a doctor, right? And it's when it gets bad, it's when it's harming people.
Yeah,
it's health threatening.
That's what I was going to say.
But I think it could also be money. You know what I mean? You know, what if you spend all your money or you're in debt, and then you know what I mean? You could hurt your family that way. You know what I mean? If you're just buying stuff and you're not, you know, it's addicting, I think too. And then when there's a community, it's like George gets something, I'm like, damn it, I got to keep up with George. You know, Jorge, I got to keep up with, you know, I got to keep up with Michael. I got to keep up with, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a competition because men are competitive too. So, and it's fun too, and we love to collect. So, I think it could be dangerous as well. And I think that's where it kind of blurs the line.
I think that's where people differentiate what is a hoarder and a collector is if it's worth something, really, because nobody calls a guy that just has billions of dollars a hoarder, but he is a hoarder. He's been hoarding. Why do you need billions of dollars? You're never going to be able to spend that money, you know. But some people hoard money. Some people hoard expensive things, you know. But I guess, I don't know. I think I have a collection, but I guess I've hoarded my collection with a lot of things, you know. Collecting and hoarding is just, I don't know. It's just very, very similar to me. I think when people have a bunch of junk, they call them hoarders. And when people have a bunch of cool stuff that's worth money, they call them a collector.
Yeah, but that's, again, relative. What you consider is junk. Like my brother would consider our statue collecting, you know, that you're collecting junk. And then I'm like, you know, I don't feel the same way about that.
Yeah, it's in the eye of the beholder, pretty much.
So... My brother, he collects sports memorabilia. So, like, he has Miami Heat signed basketball and, you know, the other things in his house, photographs that he's had with sports heroes and that kind of thing. And that's what he collects, although he doesn't consider himself a collector. So,
and nobody's going to come up to Donald Trump and say, you have a problem. You're just hoarding too much money, buddy.
You know, nobody's going to say that.
Have an intervention, you know. But if you're hoarding garbage, or you're collecting garbage, and a lot of people are gonna say you have a problem. You're affecting it. It just depends on, I guess, what you're collecting. I think all hoarders are collectors, I guess, and all collectors are hoarders in a certain, to a certain extent.
Like I had a friend that was that he would download movies and TV shows and pretty much anything that he could download, he would download. This dude had like 24 terabytes of videos, movies, video games, all this stuff on this thing. And I'm like, have you seen all this stuff yet? And he's like, no. So like you're just hoarding digital content for the sake of having it. But yeah, he's like, whenever he wanted to, he had whatever movie you wanted to watch. He had it on his device. So. It's funny.
Yeah.
Damn, Cass, you're making me feel bad about my collecting, bro.
I was reading the symptoms. I'm like, wow, that sounds like collecting statues.
Oh man, I've been through it. I've sold my collection a couple times. I think I've mentioned this a few times. I've sold my collection like 2 or 3 times over, and you're always constantly recycling pieces, but there's certain things that I end up going back to. It's just, you love what you love. You can try to, in my experience, you try to get in with the hype, and people hype something up. They're like, oh, this is gonna be the most awesome piece, and then get it, and you're just like, it's not really my style, and you just gotta figure out what your style is, what you enjoy to collect. Otherwise, you're gonna just waste a bunch of money buying and selling stuff. And sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll get something that's worth some good money, and maybe it'll even out eventually. That's why I like this hobby, because maybe you'll lose a few $100s, but maybe you'll get a few $100s on the next piece, and it makes it a little interesting. But it sucks, if you lose like $500-600 on a piece. But I've made a lot more than that on a few pieces too. So
yeah. So there some people, they like to, I forgot where I read it, but like there's that, like you should spend money on not things, but spend money on experiences, I guess, traveling, doing things with friends and family and stuff like that, or just spending money on going out instead of buying things. And some some people would say things don't make you happier. So it's like for me, being in the game, like this is my game room, right? I've got my couch, I got my TV, I play video games, and I've got my books, and I've got my statues, right? So for me, I don't know, buying things does kind of make me happy, or at least buying this stuff, because I use it as art, and I like to look at it, and I'm in an atmosphere that I enjoy a lot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I guess I am buying things for my experience of sitting in my room, and then my kids sit in here. And when they had the little, the one thing that actually hurt the most about selling the Eagle Moth statues was the kids would sit by the glass case, and they would go to each little one and be like, oh, look at this one, look at this one. So, that was an experience that I felt when they were checking out new characters, because I had every single DC piece. I had almost every Marvel piece. And they were just learning all these new characters and asking, what's this one? What's that one? And they're like, oh, there's a Spider Girl. I didn't know there was an actual girl that was a spider. I thought it was just a Spider-Man. Right. So I think in a way, it is kind of an experience as well. But I don't know. What do you guys think? George, you're a traveler. You like to travel a lot. I would love to travel.
I do love to travel.
What do you find happier? Yeah. What do you get more joy out of?
Yeah, it's a good one. I have a good time in both. I do love to travel, so I have to say that if I had my chance to go do certain things, I'll do it. So like and I would probably do that over buying something. But I still enjoy being in this room. I like having the stuff that I have, and it does make me happy, and it inspires me to draw and to reminds me of my childhood, and I enjoy that. I do like seeing my kids when they come in here and they see the stuff and they go bananas over it. My daughter loves this stuff. So yeah, I like both. I think a balance,
Yeah.
Like I would forego getting a statue to go to Italy. Yeah, absolutely. So.
Oh yeah, you can get a couple grails going to Italy. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, just for the experience of it. I mean, I like my wife and I. We went to Mexico a couple years back, And although I got sick when I was down there, I still had a blast, man. It was an experience. I got to rappel down a mountain, and it was fun. You know, that's something that I could say that I got to do in my life, and that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, and the crazy thing too, though, to think about is like the community aspect of buying statues, uh, because you know when I like big, like, you know, I saw my first statue I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then I started buying this stuff, going online, looking for deals, and then somehow I found Facebook or YouTube, and then that builds on top of going to MegaCon, going to Comic Con, meeting people, talking to people, having a statue chat, um, and then there's the experience of buying a statue and finding that Grail, or that classic character, your favorite character. So I think it's a little bit of both. You know what I mean? When you're buying a statue, there's an experience of finding. I think someone in the comments actually said that as well, so I actually stole that from them. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I managed to get that Obi-Wan, and I know when I open that, I'm gonna have a blast. Me sitting there and look like a kid at Christmas when I get that thing open.
Nice. How did you find that one?
Through OfferUp, actually. There was a guy who had it up there. Huh?
What is that? Is that an app or something?
Yeah, OfferUp is like Craigslist or like an eBay, but it's not as hyped up as eBay. It's getting recognition now, but there's not a lot of people use it. So this guy had it on OfferUp, and he had it for a lower price, and I was like, cool. You know,
I love that statue, man. I sold it about 2 years ago, and I got it right because remember they reissued it. I don't know if you guys remember this, but they came out with a certain ES, but then they didn't finish the ES because it didn't sell too well at first. But then they're like, oh, now it's gone up in price. So they continued the ES and finished out what they originally said they were going to make. So I bought it, and I love the statue. It was one of my favorite statues. I loved the way you put it together. It kind of reminded me of like an old G.I. Joe toy, but just at a high quality, I don't know. It's crazy. I love that statue. But then it came to a point where I was like, okay, I only have a couple 1/5 statues, and I got this thing for $300, and somebody offered me enough money for it, and I was like, I gotta do it because it just didn't fit in with my collection. But that was one of my favorite statues. I love that statue. Both the heads on it, just amazing. One of them was just like a mix between Ewan McGregor and
Guinness.
Yeah, Guinness. Yeah.
Nice. So is that the last one in the collection for you, George, or do you how many do you have left in that line? I guess
there's Boba Fett, there's the Gamorrean Guard, and then there's Darth Maul. I'm gonna get Boba Fett as the next one I'm gonna go after. The Gamorrean Guard is just as hard to get as Obi-Wan, so that's another one that is gonna be expensive, and I'm gonna have to try to find somebody who's not wanting to charge that much money for it. And there's a point where I don't want to tell people that, hey, man, your statue is not worth what it's worth. It's because it's worth to you what it's worth to you. You know, You're obviously willing to part for it for whatever money you're willing to part for, and I'm fine with that. But it's what I'm willing to pay for. So I have my budget for it, and if I find it at that price, then I may get it. And then Darth Maul will probably be the last one I get because I think he's the least valuable of them all.
So he's easier to find. Yeah.
He was so hard for Sideshow to get rid of too. That thing was there forever. They even gave discounts, free shipping, everything. I remember I was so tempted to get him because I got the Obi-Wan, and he was like $250 or something, I think. Then with shipping, not with shipping, but then there was shipping on top. But I mean, it was, and then they had free shipping on them. I remember at one point, and double rewards. They were like having trouble getting rid of it, and then right when they get rid of it, bam, everybody wants it. There's no more left. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, I think the reason why was because he's the only one that really doesn't fit in with the others are the classic Star Wars, and then he's the original or the new trilogy. So it just didn't make any sense to have him in there, I think. So even the Gamorrean Guard really doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Did they throw him in there just because he's so popular, I guess? Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been happier if they did a Yoda that went with them, the Emperor,
that'd have been really nice. A Yoda.
Yeah, just keep it all classic for that one. And I'm really upset that they didn't. That they just stopped it altogether. I wish they would have continued. Like,
with the Ewan McGregor portrait, I guess, or even the Guinness one, you should, because they never made it clear if they had met each other before or not. Maybe they'd seen each other in that, you know, in that desert area before. He kind of seemed like he had something out for Obi-Wan when they did run into each other.
And it's funny because when now that that Rebels TV show, they did meet in Tatooine.
Yeah, so
so it does to each other again.
Yeah, that line's amazing. You know, it's just God. I love the Star Wars statues I have. I only have the Siths besides Rey over here, but I've never even got a chance to display them all. I've been waiting to put them up there, but now I'm rethinking my whole collection. I mean, not my collection, but my display. I don't know if I want to keep these Paxes. I think I want to go with custom shelves, and I think I'm gonna go in a different room and do things differently. I've just been looking at this, and there's certain things I love. Like I love this Marvel table I have here. I can put a bunch of stuff on there, but then there's, you know, certain, like the packs they kind of get boxed out if you're looking at it from the side, because it comes out so they're so deep, and you know there's nothing clear. So a lot of it'll get cut off to where you can't see it unless you like walk around and get right in front of it, which I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah. George, how are you going to display those?
I was thinking about displaying them right across here. I'm going to move Spider-Man and Venom out. Honestly, Spider-Man and Venom, I like them, and I do want to keep them. I mean, this room's small. There's no doubt about that. And my wife and I were looking for a new house, so hopefully the next room I'll have a little bit more space. And maybe that's a good thing or a bad thing that it's a small room, because I don't need to have as much. But my idea is to have all of them displayed on that shelf right there, right in front of the television.
Nice. So how big?
Cameras can actually go up once I find them out.
Michael said they're 1/5 size almost, or they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how tall are they? Like 20 inches or something like that?
Yeah, they're small. Vader is like 19, 20 inches.
They have, you know, they're pretty rised up there because of the bases. But yeah, if they didn't have the bases, they'd probably be like 17 inches.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they called like Comic-Cats or anything like that, or Maquettes or something? Or
Mythos.
What's the title?
Just Mythos statue. Yeah.
Okay.
But those things are amazing, man. The detail on them is crazy. Even that Vader, they couldn't get rid of either.
Yeah, I know. I got the Vader. My wife got me the Vader, and then that's when I stumbled upon it. And then I was looking. Then I saw what the rest of them were, you know, and then I saw Obi-Wan, and I was like, oh, it's like, why didn't I see this?
The guy that bought the Obi-Wan off me, he sent me pictures of him like doing cosplay dressed up as, he was like the biggest Obi-Wan Kenobi fan there'd ever been in my life. I mean, and you know, that I've ever seen. And I was like, I almost felt bad selling it to him for, you know, over 3 times what I paid for it. But he hit me. I wasn't even trying to sell it. He hit me up trying to buy it off me because I posted some pictures. Oh, would you want to get rid of it? I've been looking for it. I was like, man. But he offered me, you know, enough money to where I just
I hear you, man.
It's the only one I have, or the only Mythos statue I had. And I was like, but I love that statue, man. It's one of my favorites for sure. Just so many things that go on his back, and just it's crazy. You have to have like a mirror behind that statue, I think, just to show off his backpack and everything they put on there. I think that thing's like, I'm just giving a guesstimate. It was like 20 pieces to it or something. It's crazy putting it together.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Some stats. Just wanted to share this guy's room. Sideshow. This guy, he's I guess, what do they call this guy? The featured collector.
Yeah.
I just like seeing this because
I've seen the room in on Facebook. I love the color.
Yeah. I like the way everything looks. Like the Superman looks really good there. It looks better than normal. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be the lighting or something. But I mean, I own all 4 of those pieces, and they do look good. But they look really good in this picture.
Mm-hmm. Lighting has a lot to do with.
Yeah,
and some are better than others too.
Yeah, I guess he really wants it to be sound like quiet.
Yeah, right.
But this guy's got a really cool collection. And I don't know. Have you guys submitted
Awesome.
any stuff to your rooms to Sideshow? I feel like my room's never done, so I
Yeah,
can't
me
ever
too.
submit
That's
pictures.
That's how I feel about it.
Lifelong of, you know,
Plus, you know, I see your
completionism, I
guys'
guess.
collections and your guys' rooms, and I'm like, man, my room is small. It is. It is a very small room for these pieces, I think. So I always feel kind of discouraged to put that up on Sideshow or
My
show it
room
like
is
that.
small, but I've learned to condense things properly, I guess. I mean, I got one of the smaller, the skinnier paxes, you know, because they're deep,
Hmm.
but they're skinny, and I just laid it on the floor, and I have all my Batman characters across there, and I can hold like at least a dozen of them on there. I just laid it down, and then I could put the framed art, like hold on, I got the chat on the laptop that I have. But the way I have it set up, I still got to put Zatanna back over there, but they can just keep going there. Yeah, it's not looking too good. But I'm trying to show it off. But they all, because it's so deep, you know, it's a good like 20 inches deep, I think, or it's close to it. I don't know how deep it is, but you can put some behind the other ones, you know, so you can, you know, it's good, man. I think what I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there, and I could probably fit another because I know I had Zatanna there, and I had so that's 10, and I probably had room for like 1 or 2 more. And all I did was just lay that thing down and then I could put my framed art behind them. But I don't like to cover the art, you know. But if you place them properly, you could see, you know, the art behind it because there's spaces in between the frames, and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some people with like the custom displays, casket, even your display, man. Tim, you got an awesome room, bro. So like, I look at that, I'm like, man, I look at my wife, I'm like, why won't you let me put this in the living room where I get some space? You know? Like,
This
look,
is actually
their wives let
a
them
small
do
room.
it.
So this is a small room, and this is like a bedroom actually that I took.
Right.
And we're having a third kid, so it's like she doesn't want to let me put these in the living room, but I'm like, look, I'll give the kid this room, but she doesn't want this crap. That's what she called it, crap in the living room.
Yeah, my wife doesn't want it. She makes me close the door at night, so that way she feels like
Oh,
it spooks
really?
the kids. Yeah. So yeah, whatever.
That's funny.
I mean, the next house, I'm like purposely looking for a room that I can put like custom shelves in there and really make it look nice. You know, I got
Yeah.
some space.
Are you gonna try to get like a house maybe with a bonus room, or just get like an extra bedroom to use?
Yeah, either an extra bedroom, but I want the extra bedroom's got to be like the size of a master bedroom,
Yeah.
or have like a bonus room, like another living room that I
Yeah.
can. My uncle has it the best, man. He lives in Atlanta, and he has this. It almost feels like a basement, but it's not a basement. It's just that he lives on the side of this hill. So this room that he has, you have to go down a flight of stairs to get to it, and it's massive. You know, it's just like a huge living room. And he keeps all of his sports memorabilia in there. That's where he watches his games. He's got this big ass TV and everything. I'm like, this is beautiful. If I had this space, I would really utilize this. So.
That's nice. Yeah. Are you thinking about I know a lot of people have theater rooms. That would be something cool
Yeah.
to have too.
Colossus has my Thanos spot right now.
To get I would like to get a theater room and have like a bonus room. But
yeah. My buddy got lucky and he found a foreclosure that was 7 bedrooms, and he turned one into a movie theater room. And a couple of shows that we shot for Off the Reel, where we were doing like movie reviews or trailer reactions, we would do it at his theater, and it was dope, man. He even got like an arcade room, and I was like, I hate you, man. You got the life.
I've got like 70, a little over 70 PFs crammed in this little room.
Jeez,
crazy.
That's
and
hoarding.
I have
hoarding.
I have like a few on the ground.
Yeah, you're hoarding right now. That's the definition of a hoarder.
Yeah. And I've got like at least 30 in my garage. I even have multiples of some of these things. Yeah, I started hoarding. It's an addiction. I think when I collected comics, I was the same way. I mean, well, I still do collect comics. I have a lot of comics that I hoarded over the years, which I probably want to get rid of some of those to get some cooler statues. I want to consolidate it. I don't want to have that many statues. I think like 75 would be the top. I think I want. I've gotten way over what I wanted because I want to be able to enjoy it all in a small space. Be able to spin around on my chair and just look at everything and chill. And if it becomes too much, then I got to go to another room and start enjoying my stuff. Then it's just I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I could be good with 20 at most. I don't think I would need to go more than that. I just would want to have the room where I can space it in there,
yeah. Make it look nice.
Yeah,
make it look nice, not cramped.
Right. I think that's when people start, going after grails and stuff because they're like, man, well, I've got too many pieces. Maybe I'll sell like 5 of them and turn it into one piece. And I wouldn't do it myself, but I don't like to back buy. I've done it on a few pieces, but that's about it. This, like in the video, this thing, my room might seem a little cluttered and stuff, but when you come in here, the only thing besides when I put these up, it wasn't cluttered at all. You come in here, it looked like a museum. Everything was placed in a particular, everything looked nice. But, these I was thinking about, putting a bench back there and just keeping the X-Pen going because I'm just running out of room, man. I just started collecting too many things, I think. I have pieces out in my living room that I can't even enjoy, They're just sitting out there because, I don't know, I don't even go out there, to be honest, that often.
Yeah. Yeah, my game room is the place where I chill. Before we do final thoughts, you guys, I want to go ahead and just share these pictures real quick. I don't care about these statues. I'm not a big X-Men fan, but I think these are really nice.
From Singapore.
Yeah. Here's if I say something wrong, please correct me. Is that Iceman? Is that what they call him?
Yeah.
Okay. That was an easy one. That was an easy one.
Hey, Cass is fucking with us.
What do you guys think of this? Like this whole like he's all ice, no pants, or you know what I mean? Do you guys like this?
I think that's a hard one to judge on photos.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying the idea of no cloth, no no color to him. He's like literally just like you know what I mean. The design is all ice.
But that's how he would look, right?
Okay. So you guys like this? You guys would prefer this? I don't know.
I would
like
to see it in person because it's, like I said, that picture looks bad.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but I don't think that I would. I think I would prefer it to be painted, judging by some of the pieces I have, instead of something that I could see through. But can you see through it though? I don't know. It's hard. I can't see anything from behind.
Yeah. So what about his shorts right here? Would you want these painted to look like they're not iced? I guess that's my question.
Yeah, I would.
That would be
I think it would. Yeah, I think it would stand out. It would make the rest of the piece stand out more if it was like that. Even mixed media would be badass on there. A lot of people disagree, but what's crazy, when I first started collecting, I just didn't like mixed media. And then the more I collected, I started, enjoy it more and more. So your taste, that's one thing that a lot of new collectors need to understand is that your taste is going to change over the year. Things that you used to love in a few years, you might not like it anymore. Like now I like this kind of piece. That happened to me over and over again.
I think this piece is amazing. This is awesome.
It's just pretty.
I like it too, man. I don't know. I think I prefer Sideshows just because it's more classic.
Which one? Which one of
new one?
Sideshows?
Sideshows Mystique.
The new one?
Mm-hmm. I know nobody will agree with me on that one for sure.
No, you're by yourself.
Well, but I just don't like how many, liberties they took on her costume. I don't like the separation. I don't know. Just it's not classic Mystique to me. The face doesn't look right. Nothing looks right.
Yeah, I see. As someone that doesn't really care about Mystique, I think this one just looks better in general. But then people care about the classic look. What do you guys think of this guy?
Can't see him.
No,
I don't know. I was really wanting to get him, but
I liked him better in the digital sculpt than I did when it was finished.
Yeah, you just don't like the paint apps. I guess.
I don't like the paint apps.
Yeah. So I don't have an opinion, so you guys have to fill it in for me. I have no opinion on these guys. X-Men, you know, I like Wolverine. That's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on my radar for one of the few pieces I was going to get from XM.
Yeah.
Him and Professor X. But man, they're starting to change my mind with some of these photos. I don't know. I'm a little worried about how the blonde's going to look. And I'd have to see it in person. It's just too hard to tell.
Yeah, you got to remember they've got really, really bright lights going on here.
I hate that Cyclops with the passion. Yeah, I just don't like it. I don't know why. It's just a half-assed attempt at Jim Lee. I think they changed too many things about it.
I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion. I'm not going to buy him.
Why didn't they put an X on his belt? What is that thing? I don't even get why they
right
did
here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an X, but it's like they put two arrows pointing towards each other instead of an X.
Yeah.
It's weird to me. I don't know why they would do that.
Bronx Collecting says Cyclops is whack. All right, let's move on then. Well, what do you guys think of this little part of the statue?
I think Gambit looks pretty dope, man.
What do you think of this?
My brother loves Gambit.
Yeah,
he really wants that one. He's bugging me about it.
I think they
waiting for Sideshow.
I think this looks legit. Like this, this effect right here.
Oh, you should have heard when the first Gambit came out, where he's like, "What is that shit? That Pepto-Bismol freaking effect?" Everybody kept calling it Pepto-Bismol. I remember it wouldn't sell out the exclusive. Nobody wanted it. It just sat there took a while at least, and now everybody calls it a Grail.
Would this have been better if it had a cloth jacket? If this was cloth?
I like the sculpt.
I don't
prefer
know.
the sculpt.
I prefer the cloth on the PF, but I think if they would have done the cloth on that one, it just wouldn't have fit right. I like what they did with it.
Cool. What about this guy?
The way with the PF, it just drops down, you know, like it works well with the
professor. The professor I only want is because they haven't done a professor. And
that's my feeling too. It's like I don't know how long I have to wait for Sideshow to make one. It might be 2 years before I get one.
What's he doing with his left hand over here? What's he doing with his left hand? Like, what the heck's going on here? It's just like it's levitating. Why is he not grabbing the chair? I don't know. His feet are levitating.
Yeah, I don't like that version of it. I like the one on the other chair.
You like the mouse pad?
Because that one doesn't look at the wheelchair. When I think of
the mouse pad, look at that.
Yeah.
But that mouse pad. It's a mouse.
But if you look at the other one, he's not like
I'm not gonna be able to unsee that.
He's not 1970s, 80s John Byrne. It's like his wheelchair doesn't fit the time period. His wheelchair is like not that one, of course, but you know the one with the wheels. Yeah. They're too thick. It looks like bike tires. It's like a bicycle. They should be thinner. It should be a more elegant kind of old school wheelchair, and they made it too futuristic. I think
So this is the one you want to. This is the one you want to get. Is this one?
Yeah, if I was gonna get one or the other, I'd get that one because it just fits together. It looks more like the 90s. The other one should look like the 70s, like an older classic kind of thing. And the way the wheelchair is.
Yeah, I got a question real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off. Are these throne pieces?
Yeah, definitely. Grails, man.
Are these throne pieces? Is this the next XM throne piece? Is that? I don't know. Do you guys consider these thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does seem off there with the one on the wheelchair.
Yeah, the wheelchair should be, and he always used to have that blanket over his legs too, back in the 70s and stuff. He just doesn't fit the way he's supposed to look. He needs to have a more elegant kind of classic wheelchair.
Which one are you getting, George?
If I had to get one now, I would probably go with the mouse pad. After that, I'm looking at it more with the wheelchair one, and as I want the wheelchair one because he's holding, Magneto's helmet. I like that. But I'm looking at it now closer, and so he's holding the helmet, but his arm is raised up as he's holding the helmet, so that doesn't seem natural to me. I feel like that should be kind of resting on the armrest with it.
Right. And it doesn't even look like he's looking at it. It looks like he's like looking past it.
Yeah.
Something's weird about it. I don't know. Maybe we're nitpicking.
I swear, when I first started collecting, I was like, all I could think is, why are they putting this damn clothes on these statues? I can't wait till the day they start just fully sculpting all these statues. I just kept thinking that, and then something changed in me over the years. And when I saw like the Joker PF and certain pieces, I think just with suits, it just fits it better. Like if I had a Two-Face, I'd want the PF to have a fabric suit. And like with Professor X, I would have preferred him to have a real suit. But I mean, nowadays, though, they're getting so good at sculpting. It's just in the painting, it's a hard one for me to decide on which one I would prefer.
Yeah. I think weight has, you take that into consideration too on some pieces with capes, certain capes. But yeah.
Taylor is impressive too, though. You know, I've seen some impressive Taylor.
Yeah.
I never used to appreciate it when I first started collecting.
Well, I want to go ahead and do final thoughts, you guys, tonight. George, final thoughts, or I don't know really what to call this yet, but I just want to give everyone on the panel a opportunity to say what they've got going on. Most of the guys have YouTube channels. If you don't have to say anything, or you just say what you want to talk about, your final thoughts. So George, what do you got coming out next, bro? I know you got a lot of stuff going on, but what's exciting in your world that you want to talk about that's going to be coming out of your website, your YouTube channel, whatever?
We do got a few reviews coming out this weekend. I just won the pop off today, so I'm kind of hyped about that. That was fun. I beat Seth with a Indiana Jones pop figure, which he wasn't.
I watched that earlier.
Yeah,
he was all upset about it.
Oh, dude, it was great. It was great. I couldn't believe it. I knew I was gonna catch him at that moment, and it was perfect. I did it. I screenshot his face, and everything is perfect. It's great.
He forfeited the competition.
Yeah, he did. He did. But the main thing that I'm having coming in on Monday is that Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I'm going to be doing a live unboxing and review of that one because I feel like that one's special enough for me that I don't want to do a pre-recorded on that. But yeah, I do. We do have a lot of reviews. I got my garage is filled with boxes right now, and I need to get to it.
Yeah, and so everyone that doesn't know, who doesn't know your website or anything like that, go to mcecentral.com. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. And you can plug your other stuff too, your YouTube. What's your official YouTube? I just click on it when it pops up.
Official YouTube is youtube.com/c/MCE Central.
Okay, cool. So MCE Central.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we got Facebook channels, and always have stuff coming out all over the place.
Yeah, you do.
Jim was asking if the Brown Wolverine was there.
I heard that he's gonna be. I'm waiting for pictures. I mean, we're gonna. I guess for Singapore is a 24 hours ahead of us, so we should start seeing stuff as soon as tomorrow.
Nice. So keep an eye out for that, you guys. I still have to edit some videos that I have, and editing is the worst. I hate editing. I don't know why. It takes forever. It takes forever. Unless I'm really passionate about the piece. Like I had a really good time editing this guy, the zombie bust.
So jealous, man. I've wanted that.
Great review, man.
Yeah, I had a really good time with that. I actually took my time, and why I started doing YouTube channel was because because it was kind of like a hobby. Like I'm not in it for the money or anything else like that, or the fame. You know what I mean? Like the internet statue fame thing. I just enjoyed somehow expressing some type of art. You know what I mean? I wanted to express something, and like making a YouTube video was a way to do it. You know what I mean? Even if it's crappy, I still had a good time doing it, and I had a really fun time doing that one. And sometimes I just feel like I'm just like, okay, let me edit this out. Okay, I said the 30th time. Let me edit that out again. But, I don't know, George. How long do you spend editing? How much time do you spend editing?
Sometimes, I mean, I have backlogs of mess ups. I'm waiting to do one of those blooper videos, all the screw ups that we do. So I mean, I have a lot of them, and yeah, I hate doing editing. I found that I have another computer that I do the rendering on, but that's the other thing too. I get done editing something, and then I go to render it on my computer that I use for recording, and it takes forever. It's like another 30 minutes. Yeah. I'm like, gee, or sometimes longer, sometimes like an hour or more. and I'm exhausted by that point. I'm like, and then you got to upload it to YouTube after that, and I'm just like, So
it takes a while.
yeah, I found a computer that I've been using that's got a high amount of memory, and it works really good. I get the rendering done much quicker.
Nice.
So that editing sucks. I don't like editing.
I don't know if somebody asked this earlier, but what do you guys have on pre-order right now?
Oh shit! You know what it is that I have the stuff that I have on pre-order, and then I also have the stuff that my friends have on pre-order. Because they bring the stuff over to me, so I review them as well.
Oh yeah,
So they send it all to me. So my garage is filled. So it's not all my stuff. So I get
crazy.
Yeah, I get to review the stuff, which is cool. I get to see it. Yeah, it's so yeah. I have a lot of stuff coming in. Too much.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
I don't have that stuff. I don't have anything on pre-order, but if I see something, I might just go get it. You know what I mean? Randomly, I never know. I feel like I'm always buying a statue every freaking month.
Yeah, sometimes you'll
prices
see
are going down too.
An offer that's too good to refuse.
Prices are going down on statues, so I might be picking up some other stuff that I don't even know about yet. So we'll see. No, go ahead. What do you got? What do you got going?
I think most of the pre-orders I have are video game statues. I have Symphony of the Night, Castlevania from first four figures, the Bowser.
You got the Bowser? You got that big Bowser coming?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. I've made fun of that thing a lot on
I remember Carlos was getting into that thing. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You order that lump. I don't know. He's talking shit to somebody who was funny, but I was like, man, he's Bowser. He's the first bad guy. I remember I was like 4 years old getting a freaking Nintendo. I'm like, he's got a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah.
And then I've also got Solid Snake and what's his name? Psycho Mantis I just ordered too. Which I'm like, man, why the fuck am I getting into this line? But I always loved Metal Gear. It was one of those games I just, thoroughly enjoyed. I've been waiting for him to come out with the Resident Evil quarter scale line, which I think Hollywood Collectibles makes a few of them, but they're just not up to par, yet, as far as what I've seen from them.
Cool.
But I mean, besides that, I just have Mystique. I've been waiting on Emma Frost. I just don't know if I want to pull the trigger on that one. She looks a little bit off to me, but I know I'm gonna order Doomsday, and I know I'm gonna order Juggernaut. But
nice.
I mean, what I really have ordered is just a few pieces.
Yeah, you're hoarding for sure, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm getting rid of a few for sure. I'm gonna set up my whole collection differently.
I don't know what Gem Mint is in the chat. He said, I don't know why you guys take forever to edit your videos. I say a lot. I've noticed. I go and yeah.
I've never edited any of my videos. Well, I haven't came out with a lot of them. It's probably why I don't get a lot of views. But I just just come off the head when I come with it, and I just need to get better tools, man. I need a better camera. My camera sucks. I bought the lighting and I bought the turntable. Now I just need the damn camera.
Yeah, you've got enough pieces to do a whole bunch of reviews. Even though they're older, it'd still be cool to see some of that stuff. So,
yeah.
But you know why it's cool too to see older pieces be reviewed again is, especially if they're actually older, to see how well they lasted, I guess, and see how how far they've come, I guess. In the
Joker, I was really worried about how his. I think I guess it's just where you're living too. I think has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
The Silver Surfer I have there, he looks pretty much brand new, man. He's old piece. I can't see anything wrong with the paint. And so also with the Spider-Man comic kit.
Michael, do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have one or no?
Yeah.
Someone's asking. Terrell Reed wants to know.
Dream Actius. It's DreamActius. I don't know if there's I don't have a proper link to it, but I think the only video I have on there is the freaking Witcher review. I had a room tour on there, but I wasn't very happy with it. But I think I just have one video on there. It's the Witcher review that I did.
But you should probably just type it in the chat if you want people to go to it. That'd be cool to see your Witcher review.
Yeah, I'm not too proud of my channel at the moment. I need to get some better equipment and
It's all good, bro.
get it going.
I don't if there's any other final thoughts that you guys have. I think I'm going to end it tonight. Do you guys have any other final thoughts or?
No, I'm good, man.
Nice.
Just
right.
I guess. Oh, forget it. I was just gonna say.
What's your final thought, Mike?
I'm thinking people shouldn't just put too much seriousness on the word Grail. I think it's just a word that was just a fun word that was made for people seeking certain statues that everybody's trying to get. And I don't know, some people just get in arguments over it. It's just a word, you know. Don't take it too serious. If it's Grail to you, then it's a Grail. That's the way I see it. My final thought.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring up some really interesting talking points. We talked about, are grails overhyped? Are they not? What is the definition of a grail? And we talked about hoarding versus collecting, and talked about some other new statues at the new. What con is that called? What is that? I'm sorry for being a noob. What's going on right now? The Singapore
Comic-Con. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And we talked about that. Touched on some statues. Hopefully, some new stuff comes in. Go to George's website, mcecentral.com. He's got all the stuff that's going to be coming in. So, with that, you guys, good night. Have a good weekend. Peace.
See you guys.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. Have a good night.